In this video, we'll look at some applications of sets. So let's take a look at this first application. Let's say a poll was passed out to 100 students, and the poll contained 3 questions. First question was, do you own an iPad? Second question was, do you own a laptop? And the third question was, do you own an iPad and a laptop? So that's asking if they own both. And so here are the results of the polls. For those that answered the iPad question, 70 said they own an iPad, 30 said they didn't. So that's a total of 100. For the laptop, 50 said they did and 50 said they didn't. So that's 100. Now for both, 40 said they own both and 60 said they didn't own both. So again, that adds up to 100. So now from this information we can answer other questions like, how many students own an iPad but do not own a laptop? How many students own a laptop but do not own an iPad? How many own an iPad or a laptop? That's the union. And how many own neither an iPad nor a laptop? And then how many do not own an iPad? Well, what we can do here is let me just zoom this out a little bit. What we can do here is we can put this information in a Venn diagram, and we can let the set A here, which I didn't have labeled. A would be those that own an iPad, and we know that we have a total of 70 in that circle. So I'll try to write 70 there for you. Alright, that's an ugly 70, but just pretend like that's 70. Let me fix it for you. Okay, that's a little better. So we have 70 in this circle. This is A. This is those that own an iPad. And then in the ones that own a laptop, we have 50 in that circle. Now, you might notice in the middle, I show that 40 are in the overlap. That's because we know that 40 own both an iPad and a laptop. Now, if you look out here in this blank area, this white area out here, that would be those that own an iPad but don't own a laptop. And then over here in this side, this would be those that own a laptop but don't own an iPad. So we can easily figure this out, because since we know the total in the A circle must be 70, then we can just subtract this 40 from 70 and we get 30 out here that own neither an iPad or laptop. And then over here, if we take the 40 away from 50, then we get 50 minus 40 is 10, and so we have 10 that own a laptop but not an iPad. Now, you can also figure out how many are not in any of these circles, because if you add these 3 sets together, because they don't intersect, these are not 3 non-intersecting sets. So here we've got 30 plus 40 plus 10, that's 80 that own either an iPad or laptop. And if you subtract the 80 from the total, which is 100, you subtract 80 from 100 and you get 20 out here. So now I can answer these questions. If I want to know how many students own an iPad but do not own a laptop, that would be these here in this white area, 30. How many own a laptop but not own an iPad? That would be these 10 here. How many own an iPad or a laptop? Well, here we can just add these 3 numbers together now, 30 plus 40 plus 10, and get 80. And how many own neither an iPad nor a laptop? Well, that would be these guys that are outside the circles, 20. And then last, how many do not own an iPad? Well, remember, the A circle represents the iPad. So these 10 here do not own an iPad. But also, don't forget, these 20 out here don't own an iPad, so you'd have to add the 10 and the 20 together to get 30. So your answers would be right here. So here's the answers to all of those questions. All right, so that's how we can use sets to answer counting questions like that. Okay, so I'll finish this video with a 3-set Venn diagram problem. Notice here it says a survey of students at a film school revealed the following information. 51 liked animated films, 49 liked comedy films, 60 liked drama films, 34 liked animated and comedy, 32 liked comedy and drama, 36 liked animated and drama, 24 liked all 3 types, and 1 does not like any of the 3 types. And here's several questions that we can answer here once we fill out this 3-set Venn diagram. Like, for instance, how many like only one of the 3 types of film, how many like animated and comedy but not drama, and so forth. But we'll return to these questions once we can fill out the Venn diagram. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you the 3 circles. So this top circle here represents the ones that like animated films. The green circle here is the ones that like comedy, and the blue is the ones that like drama. Now, in order to fill this out, we just use the information we're given. If you go back and look at the information, you know that 1 does not like any of the 3 types, so we can put that out here. And then 24 like all 3 types, so we can put that in this little triangle shape right here. So we know 24 like all 3 types. Now, if you go back and look at the information, we know that 34 liked animation and comedy. So we know that if you take the animation, which is the red, and the comedy, which is the green, and you look at that intersection, that would be, I'm going to call this an I. So this I right here would represent animation and comedy, and it has to have a total of 34 in it. But notice we've already got 24 accounted for here, so just subtract 24 from 34, and that means you have to have 10 out here. So of the 34 that like animated and comedy, 24 of those also like drama, and 10 of those do not like drama. All right, and then also we know that 32 like comedy and drama, so that would mean this I right here has to add up to 32, and again we've got 24 accounted for, so subtract 24 from 32, and there's 8 out here. So you have 8 that like comedy and drama but don't like animated, and then 24 like comedy and drama and animated. And then the other one here, you know that there's 36 that like animated and drama, so that means that would be this I right here. So this I right here has to add up to 36. So subtract 24 from 36, and you'll get that there's 12 out here. So of those 36, 12 of them don't like comedy, and 24 do like comedy. Okay, so now once you get that filled out, then you can go on to fill out the parts outside the circles. Well, since we know 51 like animated, well, let's think about the animated circle. We already had this number, and this number filled out. So that's 10 plus 24 is 34 plus 12 is 46. So that means since this circle's got to add up to 51, there's got to be 5 out here that just like the animated type. And then again, if we go to, let's see, step 7 says 49 like comedy. So that means in this green circle, we've got to have a total of 49. Well, in the green circle, you've already got 10 here, 24 here, and 8 here. That adds up to 42. And then so subtract 42 from 49, and that means there's 7 out here that just likes comedy. And then lastly, 60 like drama. So look in your drama circle, and you've got 8, 24, and 12 already accounted for, and well, that adds up to 44. So subtract 44 from 60, and you get 16 that just like drama. So now you can answer the questions here. How many like only one of the 3 types of films? Well, that would be the 7 plus the 5 plus the 16. So if you add those 3 numbers up, the 7 and the 5 and the 16, you get 28 for the total that like only one of the 3 types of films. Now it says how many like animated and comedy but not drama. Well, animated and comedy would be this I right here, but since you don't want drama, you'd have to pick the 10 here. Part C says how many like animated and drama but not comedy. So animated and drama would be this I, and then not comedy would be these 12 here. And then it says how many like either animated, drama, or comedy. Well, in that case, you got to add everything up that's in each one of these circles. So you have to add all of the values up here that are in these three circles, and you get 82. And then this one says how many like either drama or comedy. So you have to add everything up that's in drama or comedy. Of course, you don't want to duplicate anything. So let's see, in drama we have 16 plus 8 is 24, plus 24 is 48, and then plus 12 would be 60. And then also we have to add, what else do we have to add? Let's see, drama or comedy. Okay, so we have to add the 10 and the 7 to get the comedy that hadn't been accounted for, so that's 77. And then how many like drama and comedy? That would be those that are in the intersection of drama and comedy. So that would be the 24 plus the 8 here, which is 32. And how many students were surveyed? Just add everything up. Just add all the numbers up, and don't forget to add this 1 here, and you'll get 83. And how many do not like animated? Well, you just pick all the numbers that aren't in the animated circle, so that would be the 7 here, the 8 here, the 16 here, and then the 1 that's out here, do not like animated. So that's an example of a 3-set Venn diagram. And I'll just leave this last one here for you to read, and you can see how to set that up. So just read that and notice how I set that last one up on the Venn diagram. And in the next video, we're going to learn counting techniques to find the number of elements in a union.